Foot fault, court 1.
Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Coach Rob just called a foot fault on me. Do you guys know what a foot fault is and how to call it? Stay tuned. Alright guys, so the foot fault penalty or infraction or whatever you call it, the foot fault call is kind of rarely called on the Pro Tour, in league play, even in juniors, right, Coach Rob? Nobody really.
It happened in this arena in the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
that was a few years ago.
That's the most memorable one.
Yes.
And she did foot fault though.
Yeah, that was it.
Right, and there was a lot of controversy over it, but she did do it. Now, why is it so rarely called?
Well, one, if you're playing singles, if you're the returner, it's really hard to watch the ball because you're looking up when you're trying to see it off their racket to see their feet, right? So it's hard for you to tell their feet and watch the ball. So in doubles, it's a little bit easier because the returner's partner, who's not returning serve, can be looking to see if that server is foot faulted.
Okay, so let's go to the line here and define what you can and cannot do. So this is what's called the baseline, and let's say we're serving this way, which is the what court?
That would be the deuce court, or otherwise known as the forehand side.
There you go. So this is the center stripe, center line. Coach Rob, let's start with here. We cannot, let's just start here first. So we're not supposed to touch the white line, correct?
Correct.
Until we strike the ball.
Correct.
So for those of you guys who do this, you take one big step in, and then you serve, and then you take another step in like this. That is a foot fault.
Correct.
For those of you who do this, who basically toss the ball, right, and then come here, if you step down before you strike the ball, that is a foot fault.
Right. It can also be, you don't have to take one giant step for mankind. You can also just move your foot onto the line, or you can move your back foot onto the line. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a step, but anytime your foot touches the line before you've hit the ball, that technically is a foot fault.
Okay. Now, what if I toss the ball, I jump, hit the ball before I land?
That's fine.
Okay.
So you're pushing off, you're going up, you're hitting the ball, and then when you're coming down, then you're into the court. That's fine.
Okay. So we just told you, okay, so you have to strike the ball before you step into the court or onto the line.
Right.
Now, what about the center mark here? What if I'm doing this, like this? I have 1 foot at the line.
That's a great question, and I don't necessarily know I have the exact answer. I did remember watching, I think Isner sometimes has his back foot over the line, and then he brings it up. So I'm not sure. They didn't talk about whether it was a penalty or not. It wasn't called in the match I was watching, but I did remember them asking that sort of question on the air. And I don't remember if they ever actually got an answer out of it.
I did look it up. It is a foot fault. You can't have your foot here. You can't have your foot here if you strike it. So it has to be within this. It has to be here.
So you can start and then bring it over.
You could start there and bring it over.
Okay.
Yes. I know from just watching league play that there's a lot of blatant foot faulting. You know who you are. We see you, but it doesn't get called.
Right.
why? But I see it on both sides. Like in a doubles match, USTA, like literally all field 4 people are foot faulting.
Right, that can happen.
So I'm guessing nobody cares.
Or they don't know how to say anything, or they're not looking for it. Yeah.
But I feel like if you call it on that dude's going to call it on you, and you're just jacking up everybody's serves.
Probably going to happen exactly the way you said it.
So might as well not call it.
Or if you do get called on it, what do? Right? So you learn that you should back up a little bit. Like if you know your front foot is the one that does it, just back your foot up, bounce the ball a couple times, make sure you're behind the line, and then if you go to serve and you move a little bit, you're still behind the line.
Mm-hmm.
If it's your back foot, same thing. Just start a little bit farther back. The one that gets me is if the guy is serving and volleying and he's foot faulting. He's definitely creating an advantage getting closer to the net because he's foot faulting.
I've seen that.
So that is the one where I would really be more inclined to speak up. Whereas if the guy's foot faulting and he's staying back and we're having 40-ball rallies, okay, I don't think the serve is really going to be the end-all, be-all there. But it's still a penalty. It's not a penalty, but
I've actually seen that. You're literally doing this. I'll show you. They're doing a kick serve for one, and they're literally throwing the ball. They're doing this, throwing the ball up, serving, and they're literally 2 steps already in, right? Before right, anything else. Because you toss, you're in the court, you're 1-2 already there.
right.
You guys do that?
I hope not.
But that's a huge advantage. That definitely is a huge advantage. You got 2 fat steps already in. Your momentum's already coming in. You're kicking the serve, which is actually buying you more time. And you're literally like more than halfway in the court before the person can even strike it. So you're stepping past the service line and preparing for your volley essentially already. You don't even need to do a...
You're not getting a half volley.
Right. You're taking a full volley at that point.
Right.
But that's how, a little foot fault can be a big point.
It can also be if you have, say, a slice serve, if you're hitting that serve from here, and you're contacting it, you can hit a better angle than you could if you're actually behind the line.
Right.
So you can hit a shorter, wider angle if you're foot faulting.
Right. So, guys, we just explained to you what a foot fault is and how to hopefully adjust for it. But I guess when you guys practice, maybe practice without foot faulting. Because what happens when you get called for a foot fault?
You lose that serve.
So if it's your first serve, you automatically lose the first serve. So it's automatically second serve if you foot fault. Just like Serena. If it's your second serve, what happens?
You lose the point.
Okay? No warnings?
There should be no warnings. It is a rule. We should know that rule.
Okay. No warnings, auto point, guys.
It depends. If you're playing a friendly game and it's not a league game and you're playing friendly, then you could say, hey, dude, you're foot faulting. You know that? Oh, hey, I didn't know that. Sorry, back it up.
Right.
Fine. But if it's a league, you're going to obviously be more competitive in your calls.
Right. So there might be a little gamesmanship in there too. If you want to, during warm-up, say, hey, you're foot faulting. You can jack them up too that way, right?
Good.
We're going to think about it now.
And the other thing is, if you're not sure if you foot fault or not, just get 4 balls or 5 balls and have some of your teammates or friends just watch you serve literally across from the baseline, because that's the best angle to see it, because they can see when you're hitting it and what your feet are doing.
Right.
And if you don't believe them, have them video you.
Exactly. Get the phone out.
Get your phone out, and you can see yourself either doing it or not doing it.
Got it. All right, guys. So we just taught you, okay? We just warned you. If you foot fault, you are liable to lose the point, the serve, okay? And don't do it when it's match point or in crucial situations. All right, want to thank my man Coach Rob for showing us the way with the foot fault. Okay, don't touch the line, don't touch the court until you strike the ball. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Sky, great playing today, man.
Thanks. Good hitting.
Oh, thank you.
My arm doesn't feel right.
Uh-oh. Interesting. I got something. Hang on. See? I don't feel a thing.
Wow. My arm doesn't feel a thing. Feels great.
See? I told you.
All right, Harry. One more shot. I'm going to go real big. This is great. Yeah.